As mentioned in the text, Carroll's Pyramid of Corporate Social Responsibility, or CSR, is a way to see how social responsibility works. They break it down into four different tiers, four different categories of the responsibilities of a corporation or a business and what they need to follow in order to be socially responsible. The first tier is economic social responsibility. This bottom level is associated with being profitable and doing what is required for global capitalism. It being the first tier is if this first tier isn't accomplished, none of the things above this first tier would be able to happen. Being in business would be really difficult if that first tier, like I said, was not accomplished. Next, a company is responsible to obey the law. So this next tier is all about legal responsibilities. They need to do things to benefit their stakeholders as well. This is one of the first tiers that Nike had trouble with. They were so concentrated on making a profit, they cut corners and offshored their labor costs to unethical kind of sweatshops in Asia. They, again, were so concentrated on making that profit, they attempted to bend the law in order to optimize their productivity and the amount of money that they were making. This third tier was also violated by Nike. This is the ethical social responsibility tier. So, to be ethical, what really does that mean? I think it means different things to different people, but there is an overall arching definition of what it means to be ethical, and I believe that Nike broke this. It's defined as a moral concept, moral principles that govern a person's behavior or an organization's behavior and the way that they conduct an activity. So ethics could be considered a moral code, ideals, and even a code of conduct. Nike had major issues on this level. They had broken child labor laws, and there was evidence of physical and emotional abuse, along with forced overtime hours for their employees. Almost anyone would consider these practices unethical, and most of them are even illegal. So it kind of broke both tiers of corporate social responsibility. Lastly, the final tier is philanthropic, excuse me. This is where a company is responsible for doing things that are desired by the society. So without those bottom three tiers, it's kind of the same premise that they build off of each other. So you can't get to this level without meeting the other three. So in the case of Nike, they did not meet this level because they were practicing in unethical and legal activities in order to make a bigger profit. So while looking for low costs, Nike encountered major issues and they violated many tiers of this pyramid. They weren't able to, in my opinion, to be socially responsible in this aspect. The list of bad practices goes on way too long, and they include sexual harassment, like I said, forced overtime, physical and verbal abuse, and also exposure to toxic materials without the proper gear or equipment, as well as the previously mentioned child labor violations.